Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. I really appreciate everyone watching my videos. Means a lot to me. I'm just having fun working on some of this junk I've got here at the house. Like and subscribe, more stuff is coming. Now, 74 Nova, I've got the 69 front end swapped over. The bumper's just kind of sitting there on jack stands because it is bent and twisted, and I didn't want to drill the wrong holes in the subframe. So what I did was I just set it up with a jack stand so I get a good look at it. I'm going to get a straight bumper and make sure I have straight brackets. I'll put the holes in the right spot, and then I'm going to make this one fit because I'm not going for shiny and new. I'm kind of going for the ratty look on this build. What I wanted to do was see if I could do a kind of piece the front end together with stuff I just had laying around the house. This car hasn't had a front end on it in years. I still had the original fenders. That's these. This one's pretty much trashed. I still had them laying around, but I didn't have them on the car. So did the front end swap with everything I had laying around. The only thing I had to buy was the eyebrows. Got those, got the grill and put everything in. And after I did it, I finished it up yesterday. Well, kind of finished it. It's there. It's mocked up mostly. I started thinking, man, it'd be cool to put this whole car together with a bunch of the parts I just have around the shop that I'm not using at the moment. I've been collecting stuff and buying stuff at swap meets and not selling stuff for a long time. So I've got a pile of parts laying around. And I started wondering if I had enough to put a whole car together and get it going. And thinking, I think I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to throw a bunch of spare parts or extra parts I have together and build me an 11-second car, I think. Well, I'm going to try. I have a 354 volt main block. I've got some pistons and rods, crank. I've got a set of double hump heads. I've got an ancient Torker intake manifold, one of the originals, I think, late 70s, mid 70s, something like that. Probably not the best choice, but you know, it goes with the vibe of the double hump heads, stuff like that. So I think I'll do the body first. It needs a lot. It needs floor pans, which I have the patch panels for there. Like I said, I've got a ton of parts just laying around. I won't have to buy a whole lot of stuff compared to what I would have to buy. I've got the deck filler already. I've got a 70 through 72 taillight panel. I've already got some old bumpers. The front one's already on. Like I said, it's just twisted, so I'm going to wait till I get the holes in the right spot. I'm not going to do a ton of body work to it. I'm going to do the major stuff on the body, like fill in that hole right there. Get the body going. Do the chassis next. You know, rear end, brakes, traction bars. Going to throw some subframe connectors on it. I've got a set of those somewhere. I've already got headers for small block. I've got exhaust. I don't have any wheels that I have spare to use on this car, but I can find some of those at a swap meet or at Craigslist or Facebook or somewhere. I'm sure I can come up with some weld drag lights or something. This quarter panel is actually in pretty good shape. It's just ugly. Whole car is ugly. I've got a dash panel already, so gonna throw some parts at it. I've got a turbo 400 transmission that was rebuilt 20 years ago, and it's literally been sitting since 98 or 99. So I'll probably pop it apart real quick and kind of glance at it and make sure nothing's ugly inside of it since it's been sitting for a long time. And I'll throw I've got a rear end housing that's had the bearing end cut off for C-clip eliminators, and I've got some Moser axles with C-clips on them, or C-clip eliminators on them. So I can try to go that way, and I'll have to get a gear and a spool, but I have a rear end and axles and C-clip eliminators, so I'm good there. I'll need some traction bars. I'll have to buy a converter. The cam I've got for that small block, I've already got a cam. It's brand new in the box. It's a Comp Cams 292H. I've run those a few times, and they're a pretty good cam for a hydraulic flat tappet. So I'll have to buy gears, a spool, and a converter, and then like some fuel system stuff, probably a fuel cell and a radiator. But I think I can make it run low 12s, high 11s, and then maybe I'll get crazy and spray it, you know, go buy a nitrous kit and put it on and hit it with a little gas and see how it does. But I kind of like the idea of throwing in a bunch of parts together. They're probably not all ideal, but especially that intake manifold, but it's a single plane. It'd work all right. See if I can get the rear end swapped over and to the older style. I've got a old shifter in one of the other cars that's might not be rusted too bad. I think it's a B&M Mega Shifter. Yeah, we'll see if we can get this thing together. Anyway, any questions, ideas for the car, comment below, please. Also, subscribe and like. And, you know, maybe when I get done, I'll sand this thing, give it a good hit with a DA, and I'll primer it all black. And then I can get it all black, and maybe I will plasti dip it like I did my 73. Just have to figure out a color to go with the plasti dip. So, yeah, be a fun little project. Anyway, probably going to be several videos on that, starting with the body and the chassis, the drive line, wiring and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to make it look okay. I'm not going to worry about it looking too much. I'm just going to try to get it put together, buying as little as possible. All right, guys, cool. Thanks. See you in the next video.